Alright team, gather round for a quick disclaimer huddle. This video is purely for your entertainment muscles. Yep, they're a thing. The fitness fads we're showcasing here, totally bonkers and meant to tickle your funny bones into a frenzy. Think of it as a comedy marathon for your mind, so lace up your humor sneakers and let's jog into a world where kale becomes a kickboxing weapon and treadmills are gateways to zombie chases. Get ready for a laughter workout. It's the only kind where the only six-pack you'll get is from chuckling too hard. So folks, have you heard about this new fitness craze? Underwater yoga? Yeah, it's a thing now. Because why do yoga on a nice comfortable mat when you can do it with fish and a potential audience of mermaids? I thought I'd give it a try, expand my horizons, maybe find my inner Nemo or something. So there I am in a pool trying to find my zen in a setting that's 1 part aquarium, 1 part gym, and 3 parts, what am I doing with my life? The class starts and the instructor is like a dolphin gracefully moving from pose to pose. Me? I'm more like a confused octopus, limbs everywhere, struggling to stay at the bottom of the pool. And breathing. They say focus on your breathing. Folks, have you tried to breathe through a snorkel while doing the warrior pose? It's like trying to play the flute while wrestling an alligator. And the poses. Now do the floating lotus. I'm trying, but I'm sinking like the Titanic. My lotus is less floating flower and more anchor hitting the ocean floor. By the end of the class, I haven't found enlightenment, but I have swallowed enough pool water to hydrate me for a year. I'm out of the pool, drenched, and all I can think is, well, at least I didn't encounter any sharks. Picture this, you're all geared up in your finest workout attire, ready to conquer the world, or at least a treadmill. You strap on a VR headset, expecting a tranquil run through a virtual meadow, maybe some birds chirping, a gentle breeze, but nope. The second you start jogging, you're thrown into a zombie apocalypse. Suddenly you're not just running, you're the star of the Walking Dead cardio edition. There you are sprinting like you've stolen something, dodging virtual zombies that look like they've been on a diet of nothing but rage and bad intentions. And just when you think you've outrun them, boom! You're in a post-apocalyptic cityscape where the buildings look like they've seen better days, and so have you. The idea, they said, was to boost adrenaline and motivation. Well, nothing says motivation like the undead breathing down your neck. But here's the twist. While you're immersed in this dystopian cardio nightmare, the real world still exists. That's right, the treadmill is still very much there, and it cares 0% about your immersive experience. So, there you are, high-kneeing it from zombies, and the next thing you know, you're doing a not-so-graceful swan dive off the treadmill. Why? Because in the real world, that coffee table didn't move for your virtual chase scene. And let's not even talk about the cat who decided that right now is the perfect time to be underfoot. By the end of it, you're not sure what's more bruised, your ego or your shins. But hey, on the bright side, you've just completed a workout that's part cardio, part survival horror, and all parts ridiculous. Who needs peaceful runs through virtual forests when you can have a near-death experience in the comfort of your living room? Ever tried holding a plank while a goat munches on your hair? Welcome to Goat Pilates! Ah yes, the brainchild of someone who looked at a serene Pilates class and thought, you know what this needs? Some caprine chaos. Picture this. You're minding your business, stretching into a graceful Pilates pose, when you feel a suspiciously goat-like presence behind you. Before you know it, you're playing King of the Hill with a goat who's decided your back is the perfect mountain peak. And let's not forget the impromptu snack breaks. Those pesky goats have a knack for munching on everything from your shoelaces to your top knot. It's like having a mobile, bleeding buffet that's got a taste for organic cotton and the occasional ponytail. But let's give credit where credit is due. The goats are pretty good at adding some extra weight for resistance training. You haven't lived until you've tried doing a one-legged bridge with a goat perched on your stomach. It's like Pilates meets the circus with a sprinkle of farmyard for good measure. Goat Pilates also comes with a built-in distraction technique. It's hard to notice your muscles screaming in protest when you're busy trying to prevent a goat from headbutting your instructor. I mean, who needs a timer for planks when you've got a goat ready to bah in your face every 30 seconds? And let's not forget the post-workout cuddles. You've not known comfort until you've tried to relax in Savasana while a goat decides to take a nap on your back. It's like a massage, but with more hooves and less dignity. But despite all the challenges, there's something oddly endearing about these four-legged anarchists. I mean, where else can you find a workout that combines fitness, farm animals, and the constant threat of a goat eating your yoga mat? So, if you're looking for a workout that's more Old MacDonald had a farm than downward-facing dog, goat Pilates could be right up your alley. Just remember to keep your hair tied up and your sense of humor intact. Goat Pilates. When a petting zoo goes rogue. Who knew screaming could be a workout? Welcome to Scream Therapy Fitness. I mean, who needs a punching bag when you can just holler your frustrations into the void, right? So, I signed up thinking, hey, maybe I'll get to channel my inner Tarzan. But let me tell you, the jungle has nothing on this place. It's more like a haunted house on Legs Day. You walk in and it sounds like everyone's auditioning for a horror movie. Imagine this. You're there, trying to do a squat, and the guy next to you lets out a scream that would make a banshee blush. You jump, lose your balance, and almost faceplant into the floor. But hey, at least your heart rate's up. Then, you have the instructor. Picture a drill sergeant with the vocal range of an opera singer. He's there, barking out orders, while also hitting notes that shatter not just your concentration but probably a few eardrums too. And then there's the group scream. Oh, the group scream! It's like a choir from the underworld. You're all supposed to let out a big yell together, but it just sounds like you've all seen a mouse. It's not so much a battle cry as it is a collective yelp of terror. But the best part? The cool down. Because nothing says relaxation like a room full of people whimpering like they've just seen their gym bill. And you know what's the cherry on top of this cacophonous Sunday? You don't even need a gym membership. You can just go to a public park, start doing jumping jacks, and scream your lungs out. You'll either get in a great workout or scare off all the pigeons. A win-win, really. So, if you've ever thought that a workout was just too quiet, or you've always wanted to scream without anyone calling the cops, Scream Therapy Fitness is for you. It's loud, it's chaotic, and it's probably the only workout where you'll need to bring a lozenge. In Scream Therapy Fitness, we all scream for ice cream, basically. When you sign up for a class called Thunder Thighs, expect a storm. Oh, the perils of high-intensity workouts. They lure you in with promises of sculpted abs and buns of steel. But let me tell you, the reality is more like a buns of pudding situation. So I walked into this class called Thunder Thighs, right? I was expecting some hard rock, maybe a little AC/DC. Boy, was I in for a surprise. Instead of headbanging, there was thigh banging. And by that I mean my thighs were banging against each other, begging for mercy. The instructor, built like a Greek god and as merciless as one, was all about embracing the burn. Embrace the burn, he said. Be one with the burn, he said. Listen, I don't know about you, but the only burn I want to embrace is the one from my morning toast. And let's talk about those unrealistic expectations. The instructor was like, we're going to turn those buns into steel. Hey buddy, the closest my buns have ever come to steel is the cutlery drawer. They say pain is just weakness leaving the body. If that's true, then I must have been the weakest person in the world because I was in a world of pain. Every lunge was a leap of faith, every squat a descent into madness, and the burpees, let's just say they were more like blur peas through my tears. But you know what the real kicker was? The post-workout shake. It was supposed to replenish my energy, but it tasted like a mix of chalk and regret. The only thing that shake replenished was my resolve to never do a high-intensity workout again. But hey, no pain, no gain, right? Except the only thing I gained was a newfound respect for my couch. So, next time someone suggests a high-intensity workout, remember my tale of woe. And remember that it's okay to have buns of cinnamon rather than buns of steel, because let's face it, cinnamon buns are way tastier. After one class, my buns weren't steel. They were more like overcooked noodles. Ever wanted to leave the Earth's atmosphere while touching your toes? Welcome to anti-gravity yoga. Now, I'm no astronaut, but when I walked into that class and they handed me a suit that looked like it was fresh out of a NASA clearance sale, I knew I was in for a ride. Literally. Apparently the goal is to perform traditional yoga poses while you're suspended in mid-air. It's like Cirque du Soleil got together with a yoga studio and said, what's the most ludicrous thing we can do? And voila, anti-gravity yoga was born. Now I'm trying to get into the lotus position while hanging upside down, and I'm thinking, is this what bats feel like? And let me tell you, it's no walk in the park. In fact, it's more like a tumble in a zero-gravity chamber. I mean, who knew that touching your toes could lead to a near out-of-body experience? And then, there's the flying warrior pose. It's like the warrior pose, but you're supposed to float. Float! I don't know about you, but the only thing I've ever floated in is a pool with a rubber ducky. But wait, it gets better. There's the Superman pose where you're supposed to fly face first, like you're saving the world. The only thing I felt like I was saving was my dignity, as I tried not to faceplant into the mat. I mean, the whole thing is bonkers. 1 minute I'm doing the happy baby pose, the next, I'm being told to do a floating happy baby. I don't know about you, but the last time I checked, babies don't float. And let's not even get started on the inversion therapy. That's when they hang you upside down like a bat and say it's good for your spine. I'm pretty sure my spine was just fine before I decided to impersonate a bat, thank you very much. So the next time someone suggests anti-gravity yoga, just remember, it's not all serene, deep breathing and peaceful meditation. It's more like a cross between a yoga class and an astronaut training program. I'm just trying to touch my toes, not leave the Earth's atmosphere. Kale in your salad? Old news. Kale in your kickboxing class? Now that's a trend. You heard it right. Kale kickboxing is a thing. It's like someone looked at a salad and a boxing ring and thought, you know what? These two could be friends. The concept is simple. You hold bunches of kale and you kickbox. Sounds nutritious and fun, right? It's like someone took the term, eat your greens, and added a Rocky Balboa twist to it. But here's the thing. Have you ever tried to do high-intensity kickboxing moves whilst holding on to kale? I mean, I've heard of throwing punches, but this is ridiculous. 1 minute you're feeling like a superfood superhero, and the next you're creating a kale storm with each roundhouse kick. You're left standing in a hailstorm of leafy greens, and let me tell you, it's not the empowering health-boosting experience that the brochure promised. It's more like a catastrophic salad toss that leaves you and everyone around you covered in bits of kale. And the worst part, when you're done, you're not just exhausted, you're also a walking salad bar. I mean, I love a good Caesar, but this is taking things too far. I guess the moral of the story here is, if you're aiming for a fitness routine that combines nutrition with cardio, maybe just stick to a smoothie and a run. Or, don't throw your food around. Kale kickboxing, when your workout turns into a salad toss. Balance your mind and your laundry with extreme ironing yoga. I mean, who amongst us hasn't thought, you know what this downward dog pose is missing? A hot steam iron and some wrinkled shirts? It's the Zen art of folding yourself into a pretzel while also hot pressing your Sunday best. Imagine the warrior pose, but your weapon of choice is an iron. You're not just fighting off stress, you're battling those stubborn creases too. The cobra pose? More like the ironing board pose. It's all about multitasking, folks. You've got one hand in the air reaching for inner peace and the other smoothing out a pair of khaki pants. And don't even get me started on the tree pose. You're on one leg, iron in hand, trying to press a shirt on a board balanced precariously on your other knee. It's not just a test of balance, it's a test of whether you're going to have any clothes left unscorched by the end of the session. And then there's the savasana, or the corpse pose. You're supposed to lie down and relax. But with extreme ironing yoga, you're also supposed to iron a bedsheet. Because nothing says relaxation like the risk of third-degree burns. But hey, if you can master the art of ironing in a headstand, you'll be the talk of the town, or at least the emergency room. Extreme ironing yoga, a wrinkled disaster waiting to happen. After surviving the fitness fads frenzy, I've discovered the perfect workout. It's called walking. Oh yes, folks, I'm talking about the ancient mystic art of putting one foot in front of the other. It's a revolutionary concept, I know. You don't need a NASA suit, no goats are involved, and the only screaming is from your shoes, begging for mercy. Let's compare, shall we? With underwater yoga, you risk drowning in the name of flexibility. But with walking, the only water you'll encounter is the sweat on your brow and the occasional puddle. And speaking of puddles, they're a lot easier to navigate than a post-apocalyptic city filled with zombies, I can assure you. Then we've got goat Pilates. Now, I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure the goal of a workout isn't to get your hair eaten or to become a living, breathing jungle gym for farm animals. Walking, on the other hand, only requires you to dodge the occasional squirrel. And let's not forget about scream therapy fitness. The only screaming involved in walking is an internal one when you realize you left your car keys at home and you're already halfway to the grocery store. But hey, that's just more steps for your pedometer, right? Then there's kale kickboxing. With walking, the only thing flying through the air is your worries, not superfood shrapnel. And unlike extreme ironing yoga, the only wrinkles you'll smooth out are the ones in your mind, not on your clothes. Now, I've heard of shadow puppet Pilates. But why strain yourself making bunny shadows when you can simply enjoy the real thing hopping around in the park? So, in the midst of all these fads, let's not forget the simple, effective workout that's been around since the dawn of man, the humble walk. It's low impact, it's free, and best of all, it doesn't involve farm animals or household chores. Walking. No goats, no screams, just good old-fashioned gravity. And that's all, team. The curtain's falling, the gym's closing, and my imaginary treadmill has officially run out of batteries. But wait, Before you go back to your regularly scheduled program of trying not to trip over yoga mats, drop a comment below with your own hilariously tragic workout tales. Did you accidentally fling a dumbbell? Mistake the gym for a juggling club? We want to hear about it. Thanks for tuning into the Quirky Chronicle channel, where normal is just a setting on the washing machine. So, until next time, keep your squats low and your quirkiness levels high. Remember, in the world of fitness comedy, you don't need abs of steel, just a funny bone of titanium. Stay quirky, folks, and maybe invest in some bubble wrap for your next workout session.